Hey guys, James Wilson Taylor here for Rock Sound. It's the latest of our video calls. We've been chatting to everybody while we're all at home at the minute, and I'm delighted to say from Flogging Molly, Dave's on the line. How are you, man?
Hello, James. How are you? You good?
Not too bad. Yeah, I'm coping, coping, same old, isn't it, over the last 12 months or so. And that's actually how we've started off all of these, is to say, hope your loved ones, your
Yeah.
bandmates are keeping safe, keeping well. And before we get into music, I suppose, just how has this extended period at home been for you guys? I guess, I mean, you're a band that, again, lives on the road. This has got to be quite surreal to have this downtime.
It really is, James. It's like, it's, being here, being at home and not doing what you've done for the last 20 odd years is really surreal. Because at first we thought maybe 3 or 4 months this would last, like everybody else. But no, it's continued and continued, and the more it continues, it's like everybody else. I mean, we've had the rug pulled out from under our feet.
Yeah, it's finding ways to keep going and everything as well. And I
Yeah.
must say, you guys, you've done a good job. Like, everyone's been kind of adapting to find new stuff they could put out online. And case in point, what we're here to kind of talk about, this St. Patrick Day gig. Well, the time people see this, it'll be right around the corner. That's very, very exciting move. And I guess the starting point is, how do you approach doing a big celebration show on a landmark day like that, but from a distance? What are the challenges in putting something like that together?
Well, it's been an unbelievable job. We've been talking about this since December.
Right.
We're like, we've got to just do something about this. And as a band, I mean, we miss each other and we miss playing together. And so, the guys are all quarantining, and it's like, we're all here in Dublin. We're going to be in Dublin, in the next few days and doing this. And it's a huge undertaking, but I think it's something that we couldn't have done any lesser. In a way, we could have gone, let's do a show we all don't live in the same town. We all don't live in the same city. We all are all over the place. So to get together was going to be a huge task, and it is a huge task. And we're just trying to, have a bit of fun for an hour and a half,
Yeah, we all need it. We all need it, especially on a day known for fun, man. It's great that you guys have been able to do it from Dublin, though. I imagine that must, even just that subtle change, it's the home of that holiday. It's got to really, I don't know, give it a little extra energy as you prepare to take on this show, right?
It's really bizarre in some ways, to be honest with you, James, because it's like, we've never done a show on St. Patrick's Day from Ireland ever. And in the beginning, as a child in Ireland, St. Patrick's Day was more of a hassle than a celebration. You had to wake up, you went to mass, then you went to the parade, which was quite honestly crap. And but now in Ireland, because I haven't been in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day in 30 years maybe, and to see what the celebrations now is, with the influx of other communities and generations, they've actually made St. Patrick's Day in Ireland quite a celebration. As growing up, it wasn't like that, and I think playing in America for all those times on St. Patrick's Day, you'd see how Americans would celebrate, and it was like, this is bizarre. This is just, but then it kind of grows on you, and you're like, you know what? It's okay to have a bit of fun, and it's okay to, wear a green hat every now and then. I mean, when you look like a leprechaun, what can you do?
I can't possibly imagine what oh, no, can't possibly.
You're a handsome leprechaun, though.
Oh, stop it, you. Stop it. It's very kind. I mean, with the live stream thing in general, what's been really, really cool, I've said this to a lot of different artists, is how radically different every single band's one has been. They're tailoring it to their audiences. They're trying new stuff. It's been really, really exciting, so that no one is really the same. Have there been any kind of live stream shows you've managed to watch over the last year that have caught your attention, or any kind of ideas that you've maybe seen thrown around that you thought, yep, that's something that we could make work as well?
Honestly, James, no. We genuinely felt that St. Patrick's Day, we need to do something,
Right.
and
Sure.
we need to do it our way.
Okay.
There's no way that I was going to look at any other people's ideas on what they were doing. There was no point, because we are what we are, they are what they are, and everybody's just trying to do their best. At the end of the day, I mean, it's like we in Flog and Molly we've been very fortunate over the years in the fact that we've actually toured the world. We've played to live audiences. I feel bad for like the young bands that haven't they're bringing out these albums but they're not able to tour in them, and that's heartbreaking. I mean, it's like an example for me is like Fontaine's DC, unbelievable band, and the band that you'd want to go out and see live in a hot sweaty room. So live streams, yeah, they're all new to us. We're all just trying to bring a little bit of joy and hope to everybody.
Yeah, fair play to you for adapting, man. It's exciting stuff and a good thing to do. And I guess there's been a lot of kind of interesting stuff. I know my colleague Jack spoke to you recently on the website, and we did a lot of features mainly around the 20 years of Swagger, which is, such a cool thing you guys got to celebrate. I guess just generally, how was that moment for you? It must be nice to be able to take a few milestones like that occasionally and actually look back and reflect at how far you've come. Still a record that's quite clearly, as we've seen, beloved by your fans.
Yeah, I remember we all met in Molly Malone's in Los Angeles. And I remember we put two mics, one on stage and one in the crowd. And we recorded a live album in the perception that it would make enough money for us to do a studio album. And it worked out that we actually did that. And we got to do it with Steve Albini in Chicago. And it was one of those moments where, we've always been a live band, and all our albums are live, basically. I mean, we sit in a room and just 3 or 4 takes, we pick the best one. But Swagger, it was, we all lived together, for the first time, in a like in Steve's house, basically. And got up in the morning, recorded, drank, woke up in the morning, recorded, drank, and we had a great time. And obviously, like with any band, you don't really know what you're doing at the time. We knew that we were having fun, and maybe that could translate to to people, and I think it did. I mean, there's nothing but fond memories about that album. It's and 20 odd years later, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, still going. Bringing it back to the homeland right there. It's nice that it's got to have been just a lovely moment, because like I say, you were able to acknowledge it. You were able to take the time to acknowledge that anniversary. And I know it must always be kind of strange in a way to go like, oh yeah, I guess we'll mention that album when you're still going to want to push forward and do new things and other things. But just the outpouring of love for that record in particular has got to have been a lovely moment, particularly when, like we say, you can't get in front of those same people at the minute. That's got to have been a nice moment for you.
Yeah. I mean, those memories of all being in a room together, recording those songs for the first time, I remember them like it was yesterday, and I forget them as well, But no, it's like, I mean, in times like this, James, it's like being a live band. It's, for everybody, this has been difficult, and it's just, you gotta have these memories. You gotta have these moments where you go look back and go, wow, that was special, and and it has been, and it is, and I'm just very grateful for meeting my bandmates and doing the best that we can in what we do, like yourself.
Absolutely. Gotta feel very grateful for that, I'm sure. And another thing I just wanted to reflect on a little bit before we get on to kind of newer stuff was I remember in the article that we were talking about, you mentioned a little bit about Warped Tour and reflected a little bit on playing those days, because what was remarkable about that, like for many other artists we've seen over the years, it really did open you up to a whole new audience out there and a whole new type of crowd. Just, if you will, just a few memories about, I guess, the impact of Warped Tour on your career and particularly in America. I suppose it really felt like that was a moment where you guys took off there.
Yeah, I don't think, realistically, I don't think we'd be still a band if it wasn't for the Warped Tour.
Wow.
I think I remember we got to the stage where we bought our first transit van, where we did the album Swagger. We bought a van, the used van. We all climbed into it and went up 5 cities on the west coast of America, from Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and we did 5 shows in 5 days. That was a huge deal for us. Okay, and then we got approached to do the Warped Tour, and I was like, Jesus, they're just gonna kill us on that thing, you know? It's like, no, this is not. I don't know. But what was great about it was some of the memory, James, that the initial memories I have of the Warped Tour. Kevin Lyman, by the way, he's such a great man. But I remember standing on stage on our early shows on the Warped Tour, and people would be gathered around, and they'd see us walk out on stage, and acoustic guitars, fiddles, accordions, mandolins, banjos. Not really a Warped Tour thing at the time, you know. And we'd start playing, and people would like look at us, and they'd look around at each other, and then all of a sudden it just clicked, and people would go mental. And I always remember seeing the faces going, it's okay to have it, get your folk out, you know, it's okay to have a bit of fun. And, you know, and we got to meet, like, so many great bands, like, you know, the Mighty Bosstones. I remember on that, one of the first Warped Tour gigs was, you know, inviting us to go on tour with them. You know, and apart from the Warped Tour, we had never done a national tour of the United States, and the fact that, like, you know, because they liked it so much from the Warped Tour, they were like, come on tour with us, and stuff like that. You know, you meet bands like NoFX and Bad Religion and Rancid, and it was a wonderful. I wish every band could experience something like that in their time.
Yeah,
you learn a lot. You definitely learn a lot from it. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, definitely missed. But what an amazing time to look back on. And then I guess looking forward, what I've found with all these conversations is that people have fallen into one or two camps. They either have gone, I don't want to do any writing right now. I want to sit and wait things out and switch off the world a little bit. Or they've gone, all right, fine, let's sit here. Let's write a load of music because we can't get on the road. Whereabouts are you on that spectrum at the minute? Have you found this to be a fairly creative period or no?
Well, when we came back, because we were starting a tour in America when this all happened. So me and Bridget decided we're going to come back. We're in LA. We had a direct flight to Ireland, and we said, well, let's go back to Ireland. So we came to Ireland thinking 3-4 months maybe. So when we got back, I was in my little room downstairs, and I was writing like a lunatic. And then after 3 or 4 months, I was like, this is not really panning out, you know. But lately, you know, it's kind of gone, you know. Now I'm actually being optimistic again. And I think for me personally, as a writer, a songwriter, it doesn't matter what I sing about. I've got to be optimistic in the outcome. There's got to be hope at the end of the song, you know, for me personally. And there was a period when I didn't have that. I wasn't hopeful. I was like, is this it? We're done? You know, like everybody who's lost their job. Is this it? But you know what? I think there is light at the end of the tunnel. I really believe that. I really do. Whether we're a part of it ever again, who knows? You're a part of it ever again, who knows? But we've got to crawl. We got to get out of this and really be hopeful again.
Yeah, hope is very much the word, man. I mean, I know that whenever these first tours come back, and they will come back, we just don't know when yet, but God, when those live shows kick back in, it's going to be utter chaos, isn't it? Everyone's so up for that.
I never thought I ever wanted to go on a cruise again, but I really do.
Available for cruise ships, bar mitzvahs, whatever. We'll take anything at this point. Anywhere there's a live setup, that's what I want to see, man. Dave, it's really good to chat to you. I'll leave you with this, man. I mean, again, like we say, St. Patrick's Day will be a couple of days away by the time this goes out there. For anyone who may not have even seen you guys live before, just a little bit if you can, why should they tune in? What can they expect to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with Flogging Molly?
I think expect nothing, in the sense where just, crack open a beer, as they say, and enjoy to be in a room together for us is everything, and we just want everybody to experience that. Because it's quite a surreal thing at the same time. It's not natural, but you know what? Let's have fun.
Let's have
St.
fun.
Patrick's Welsh, by the way.
There you go. Gotta drop the facts in. Gotta drop the facts in. We gotta make these things right.
You gotta have fun,
Absolutely. No, so true, man. Dave, it's a real pleasure getting to chat to you, man. All the best to you, your family, your bandmates. Stay safe out there.
You too.
And we'll see you in the UK when that's allowed. We hope it's going to be sooner rather than later. But
that's a really fancy fireplace, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it doesn't work, but it looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, there you go. Third floor apartment. It's never going to work, is it?
I would definitely hold a candle up to that. I really would.
That's a job. There's an idea. Good chat to you, Dave, man. All the best, all right?
James, take care.